I'm Caleb Froedge, and you're listening to Verse by Verse. How would you like to take a small step back in time when things were a little bit slower in pace? In Upper Michigan, there is a popular tourist destination called Mackinac Island. In order to get there, you must arrive by boat or ferry, and they keep it simple on the island as it is a car-free environment. This island will give you a strong sense of the past as you see horse-drawn carriages and beautiful historic buildings that mimic the Victorian-era village. Also, they say that when you arrive, the island smells like fudge, as there are approximately 12 old-fashioned fudge shops that make it right in front of you. This particular island welcomes a slow-paced feeling and hotels that even encourage individuals to sit in their rocking chairs on the front porch and have tea time, just like in the past. This is a place I hope to visit someday, and maybe you would like to take a step back in time as well and experience a pace that is a little slower, where technology isn't the main thing driving the environment. It amazes me to think that this island is a place trying to keep it simple and is a destination where many want to go. Why do we live in a world that is so fast-paced? Has knowledge and the technological advances pushed the fast speed in which we function? Think about it. We've gone from the gas-powered car to putting a man on the moon in an 84-year time span. This is one of the many advances that has significantly changed the world, impacting society, the economy, and the environment in a variety of ways, including the pace at which we function. Currently, our sights are set on AI, and we wonder where this will lead us in the times ahead. Regardless, it's easy to see that the increase in knowledge has caused us to function at a much quicker pace. And believe it or not, the Bible speaks of this very specific time frame taking place close to the return of Jesus Christ. And it leads us to our verse for today. It is found in Daniel 12 and verse 4. In the midst of providing Daniel detailed prophecies, God gives him information regarding the end times, a time period close to the return of Jesus Christ. In Daniel 12 and verse 4, he says, "But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book. Until the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase." While we recognize that technology has sped things up, we should also conclude that this is part of a symptom for the time spoken of in the Bible long before coming to fruition. This is good for us to understand, as we might have greater insight for why the world is functioning in the way it is. We are getting closer to the return of Jesus Christ. This understanding is amazing to consider, but at the same time, what do we do with the knowledge? Is there anything we can do to cope with the fast pace that we live in and the high-speed environment that promotes a certain amount of pressure? While it might be nice to visit Mackinac Island, we know that living on a remote island isn't going to be a part of the solution. So what can we do as we run to and fro while looking towards the return of Jesus Christ? One thing that we can strive to do is to mimic Jesus Christ's response, as he also faced busy times when he was on earth at his first coming. Even Jesus Christ himself at times would step away from the busyness of life, and he would sometimes draw away from the crowds and find solitude in prayer with the Father, or time to rest, eat, and be strengthened and nourished. Luke 5 and verse 16 says, "So he himself often withdrew into the wilderness and prayed." Luke 6 and verse 12 says, "Now it came to pass in those days that he went out to the mountain to pray and continued all night in prayer to God." We may not be able to change the times that we are in because we are growing closer to the return of Jesus Christ, but we can strive to set aside time for prayer and Bible study and time with our families, away from the technological devices, in order to find rest in a world that is running to and fro. Did you know that God has set aside a special time for physical rest and spiritual rejuvenation? It is the fourth commandment, in which God has provided us a Sabbath rest as a blessing intended for mankind. God himself rested on the seventh day of creation, setting an example for us to follow. The Sabbath rest provided for us each week is an incredible blessing that God has created so we can step away from running to and fro. This weekly rest also points to a future rest to come, when Jesus Christ will return and help mankind learn about a different knowledge that leads to peace and happiness.
Verse by Verse is a Life, Hope, and Truth podcast. Check out the show notes to find more free content, like videos, articles, and booklets in our Learning Center.